If you don't have something like this, well, your father-in-law's not as cool as Tom's.
You know how to do this better than he does?
No.
No?
Hate this thing yet?
Hey, good morning. Welcome back to Trucks and Tractors. So the Yukon right now is getting a new transmission. So this is our family vehicle, which, yes, you can do the math. It only seats 5. And this is what I'm driving. I'm gonna head down to the shop now. We have the flatbed in the shop. My goal in the next 24 hours is to have it running. My in-laws name every vehicle. They used to be dairy farmers. And so every vehicle gets a name. I did not grow up around this. I'm not used to naming every vehicle. But this one's Rusty Red. Meet Rusty Red. Alright, let's get the plow off the ground. We're just gonna, I think it's in 4. We're just gonna pull it ahead so it can idle on a flat ground. We'll let it warm up. Alright, heat, warm, high. And it's not completely defrosted yet. Oh, one side is. I'm impatient, so I'm just gonna go for it. It's only a mile. Where's the... Where washer fluid wipers? There we go. Oh yeah. We're here. Getting ready to work on the truck. I'll show you quick here what I got to do, and then I'm gonna get working on this. Here is the new shackle mounts, right? It's amazing these can rot out. It's like a 1/4 inch thick. How can that rot out? New shackle mounts. I'm gonna get the truck up off the ground. I gotta drop the suspension to cut these off. The factory ones are like, I don't know if they're pop riveted. They're not, maybe big monster metal rivets. So I gotta cut these off. And then later today, Corbin's at school right now. When Corbin gets off school, I'll bring him down here and we'll run all the new lines. Put the fuel pumps in, and we gotta fix that rear connector. I got a new plug for it, I'll have to wire that in. The goal today is to get the truck running. So I think we can do that. Is it a good idea to heat up leaf springs with a torch? It says you can, but it doesn't say if it's gonna wreck anything. This is how this always seems to go. It always ends up being more work than my brain tells me it's gonna be in the beginning. Any of you have that experience when you're working on something? So what I got here is, I got it cleaned up. It's not the prettiest thing in the world by any means. Does anyone know how to get those out? I'm guessing I gotta heat this end of the spring up and drive it out, but I don't know that I wanna do that because I think if I heat this end of the spring up, won't it weaken the metal? Just a thought. I might be wrong, but anyway, I'm gonna prime and paint all this, let it dry, and then come back down here a couple hours later, bolt it all back together after I get those bushings out of the leaf springs because I got new bushings. Oh, I've got the rotten shackles off. Ends of the leaf springs here. See, there's a bushing inside of there. That's got to come out so I can put the new ones in. I'm gonna need help for that because I can't figure out how to. If it was off the vehicle and I can stick it on a press and press it out, that's one thing. So I'm gonna ask Eric and Mark when they get back later. But so right now I gotta head out. Dawn has a couple projects for me at home that I gotta go do. I'll be back with you in a couple hours, but it'll probably be like a second for you. Hey guys, see, that didn't take any time at all. It's probably been 4 or 5 hours. I am back at the shop. I'm so used to taking keys out of vehicles, they don't do that. I'm back at the shop. I have no little helper with me. He didn't actually want to come down. So we're gonna get head into the shop and get putting this thing back together.
Done, but hey, how good you think you can catch this?
There we go. Oh, look at you, and nice. It's like a scissors. Your dad taught you this, didn't he?
Oh yeah, what did Dad teach me?
Look at that, it's like a little scissors.
So that saves a way more hours than okay. I knew the cast will take a lot of heat.
Yeah.
A lot of heat. Like this is a pain to cut through, but this steel is a much lighter steel. And
yeah, it is thinner, so yeah.
And so I knew, like, if we keep the heat down low on this, I knew we could cut this out easy. It's just gonna be way easier this way than trying to use a Sawzall because nothing like South Canada, Minnesota winters. There's rust in there.
Oh, I guarantee there's rust in there, yeah.
There's just no way. When you got to deal with rust all the time because of salt corrosion, you just find out, cut it out with a torch, start new. Notice how the top of the spring we're not even getting red?
Yeah.
That's how you know things are going as planned. Don't worry, you get to do the next one.
Oh, seriously? You want me to cut the end right off? Oh, look at that. Look at that. The gas is on there.
Yep. So,
I can burn something for sure.
okay, so which one did you start with?
Red.
Yes, good.
Green's already open.
Yep. So the third knob up there by your thumb, that's your green one. That's your oxygen. So the red's acetylene, and then the green is oxygen. And then, yeah, that happens. Don't worry.
Yep.
I meant for the viewers. Like, don't feel bad. When guys, when you blow the flame out, that's just normal.
Never set this down because inevitably you set this down, it'll go up.
Keep going. Keep going. So, yeah, there's really no settings. You kind of do it all by like a feel. So now, yep, keep cranking that. Keep cranking that. Okay, so go just a touch more. Okay, not a little less. Yep, where it's kind of hissing like a snake. Okay, so what I had someone teach me is when the dark purple or dark blue right in here is about 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch out. That's about ideal, and then like a 4-inch flame coming out of there. So we're probably right in the specs. You could back it down a little bit, but I think you're gonna both. What you find out is you kind of got to adjust both at the same time. That's not bad right there. Try that. So yes, Tom has used a torch before, but you know what? What's funny when you don't use these things?
Usually what I do with the torch is just get stuff really hot so I can pound something out of something.
Yeah, or start things on fire, because God, that's always fun.
Wow. This is awesome.
Ah, that's his life. Yeah, remember, if I was like 9 again, I'd have the same problem.
Nah.
I was... Nah. There's a little bit of humor in this. I'm laughing. Okay, can I give you a suggestion?
Yeah.
Okay, come over this way. Swing your body this way, and then roll the torch more at an angle, because we want to focus the heat not in the spring.
But down the side?
Yep.
Okay.
So get it, actually start on this corner, right in there.
Am I just getting it hot or am I getting cut yet?
Hang on. Okay, see how that's starting to get cherry?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do one adjustment here. Okay, we actually just adjusted the gas a little bit. Come back down to this very tip. We're gonna start at that tip.
Right there?
Yep, wait till it gets a little redder. Okay, now hit the trigger.
I think it's not hot enough.
Yeah. I think I'm screwing your torch up.
Yeah.
I think that's my fault. Okay, hit the thumb trigger. There you go.
Man, you made like a nice little cut. I just blew all that everywhere.
Yeah, but it was kind of fun. And actually now come from this end and then just clean out that little bit that's left. Nice, so you didn't have to do the uppercut.
Yay!
So that's why we removed the gas tanks, is we just really wanted to torch out bushings. Yeah. So now we're going to try and put the bushing in, and actually it works really nice with a big C-clamp. If you don't have something like this, well, your father-in-law's not as cool as Tom's.
This is true. Or brother-in-law's.
Yeah, believe it or not, you don't need one this massive. You're going to see that you can actually a smaller one, and usually you can find smaller ones for like 10, 15 bucks. They should.
Oh, it'll go well. The truck wants to go back together. It wants to run.
All about control.
Oh, so that's how all those get bent.
Quarter inch.
It's right on the rubber.
Oh, we are there, aren't we?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. So.
So the clamp was restricting it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna try this different. So he clamped it. I'm just gonna use a hand. As everything falls off of the truck. Perfect. All right, cool. So here's what we're doing here. We got the new brackets. We're gonna bolt them on, and then we're gonna put the new shackles on here and reattach everything. Again, I got these out of Bronco Graveyard. You go to broncograveyard.com, they have anything you could think of. Their prices were the best that I could find online. They did not pay me anything to say this. I just went to them because it made the most economical sense. Is that right, or is that the wrong direction? I can't remember. I'm gonna go look at another truck because they have more trucks this body style. So, we're gonna go look at it quick. All right, here's another one that they got. Oh yeah, that's right. Yep, that is the correct way. Okay, so I got this one in here and got it finally to go in. I did what I didn't want to do at all. I ended up pounding this bolt into place and then ended up getting it to line up. The threads got a little gummy on it, not terrible. The nut went on okay. Right now it's just finger tight, you don't tighten these up until the vehicle's sitting back down on the ground. So I'm gonna go do the other side, and then I gotta get the skid loader back in here to pick this thing back up, get all the blocks out from under it, and then I can level it and crank them down. I'm quite disappointed to say that I've been out here pretty much all afternoon. It is almost 8 o'clock now. I have I have to apologize too. I shut you guys off so I could just get working. And then I ran into a bunch of problems trying to get this tank in. Shackles are done. I think I might have put them on backwards. I gotta ask Uncle Eric what his thoughts are. I'm asking him because I grew up Chevy, or I take it back. I grew up Dodge. All the vehicles I've personally bought were GM. Then I met Dawn and Diana, and then I started buying Fords, and then I bought Fords for a long time. I still prefer a Ford vehicle, but Uncle Eric knows more about this body style than I do. So, actually, did I put the shackles in your arm? Did I put this right here? Can they go either way?
I would assume, just looking at it, I'd assume that this would flip around just so this would have more clearance.
So
see this groove here?
That's what I thought, but then I went and checked the F450 outside.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's like that one.
Then go with that.
Okay, so we got the leaf spring, looks like it's kind of kicked crooked.
No, you said that with a hammer.
Okay. Okay. So they're fine.
It's more than likely that's probably not even the original. I know we added 2 leaf springs to this truck. I just don't know which one we added.
Okay.
That's the hillbilly way. You add leaf springs, 1 to 2 extra ones, and that way you can make your 250 work like a 350 because you can't afford a 350 in 1988.
Perfect. Back then, that's probably all the differences there was is springs.
The transfer case I know is the same because I'll never forget when I destroyed the one in my dad's green truck. Going down the road, pulling a car trailer, trying to work out a negotiation deal between a 1970 Cadillac and a toolbox and a Yamaha Blaster.
The Beast.
Blew the transfer case up on 494.
That's Corbin's truck. That's the one up in my shed.
Yep, that thing has broke some hearts.
That's why we can't let that truck die, because there's a lot of new parts in it.
Yeah. Hate this thing yet?